Now, one of our goals is this year, and it worked out, I guess, half well. We tried to never get too many parts in the shop at one time. It just got too big and too encompassing and whatever. But in the case of this job, there really isn't any other way you can do it, because what we're doing is we're matching parts that have to be in some way look pretty much like their original counterparts. But it isn't raining. The phone is ringing, and that might be Mark. Who knows? Now, one thing, when this paint, and boy, we have lucked out hopefully with the rest of this issue with the paint. As I'm demasking this, I want to make sure all the tape is warm. Some of it's been sitting out in the garage overnight, some of it hasn't. But you always stack the deck in your favor if the tape is warm. It's always to your advantage. Now, what I have to do here is just pull this stripe up. This is going to be the first piece of the day. I have to backmask the two blue stripes. Make sure that tape is down all the way. Shoot the red on this. And what I did with the red the other day, and it worked perfectly, I put on 3 very dry, relatively thin coats to avoid getting any unnecessary penetration in there. But before we go out and paint, there's one thing that always gets me working a little bit harder. These cups with Miles's picture on them, and some of Karen's really strong coffee in the morning. Oh, it almost looks like the sun might be coming out. Can you imagine? We've had so many days of rain, I almost thought we're never going to see the sun again. Now, the whole trick here is, well, let me get the back first. The whole trick with this is going to be to get the coats on lightly. If you put this on all in one big thick coat, you run the risk that penetration thing. So I'm going to be real careful. 3 nice light coats, about 20 minutes apart, is usually good. If the sun comes out, it'll be even better. Sun is our friend today. And as I speak, there's the sun. Can you imagine? I'm in Florida. I'm in California. The sun is out. Holy man. Wow. Maybe we'll just put this away and go riding. Anyway, 3 coats, 20 minutes apart. Now the fender is pretty much ready for the clear. And what I'm going to try to do, if the day goes as planned, and it never does, try to get all the back masking off this, see if we need any touch-ups or repairs. And because the sun is out now, we may even get some clear on this today. That'd be nice if we could. Now this is the part that was the worst one. Looks like that's okay. There's one little spot I have to touch up, and that part will be ready for clear. You can see the little spot where the pearl is just not happy, and we'll just go out and touch that up. And that's the nice part about, you know, being able to recover some of these things that in ordinary would be a real problem. So once that dries up, and while that's drying, we'll take the masking tape off some of these other parts, and then this will be just pull the back mask. This will be ready for the clear. And again, every one of these parts I'm using the heat gun on. I don't want to take any chances that damaging that white pearl. That white pearl is still very, very delicate. Okay, 1 done. 1 done, 5 to go. That's the way this job has been. I got to remember to put that decal on the front of the front. Good thing I write things down. The little touch up on the stripe is drying up, and we got 1 part ready. Basically 2 more parts to pull the tin foil off, and you can mix up some clear and see if that sun is going to stay out. And I didn't want to forget that decal. I know Mark loves his decals. I did not want to forget that. Especially if Bobby gets over here, and we're going to be doing some multitasking this afternoon, that's for sure. It's a good feeling to know there's only one more piece to go. One more piece, oh please. Can't wait to get out there and shoot some clear. It looks like the day is going to be beautiful. Actually, we should be out riding. Navola and I should be out riding. What are we doing working on this stuff? Mark, we're going to have to double the price. I'm sorry. Or maybe triple the price. Now, I always really look forward to that last piece. I always think that last piece, once that's done and we're ready to paint, it's a good feeling. It's a feeling if you've ever painted anything, you know. When a paint is outside drying, it's a good feeling. It's the time we waited for all day. It's time to spray some clear. And it looks like the weather is cooperating, believe it or not. So you can see that wind is kicking up already. It's going to make this challenging. Not impossible, just challenging. Now our goal is to get 3 coats on, roughly, and I got to go get my mask on here. I wanted to talk while I was doing this. 3 coats, about 20 minutes apart, and put this aside to dry. Now, because this was one of the parts we had a giant paint compatibility issue with, and there's a lot of repairs, I wanted to make sure that was going to come out okay. And for the first coat of clear, that looks like it's going to be fine. Well, so far the paint's been behaving, so far. Now, it's worth mentioning, there might be people out there that don't know this. If you search our channel with FZ600, I think there's about 20 videos will come up doing various parts of this restoration. Fairing repair, laying out the trim, just to name some, the back masking. There may be a specific part that you're interested in, more than just painting like this, and or doing the clear and the buffing and whatever. This bike was very, very involved lining up the paintwork, and we had pictures we were matching it to. The color pearl, the white pearl, was not a compatible paint to, I don't remember what thinner it was. It wasn't the paint, it was the thinner. I think it was Sherwin-Williams. But anyway, this was quite an adventure, and it ran over many videos. But for somebody interested in painting or just starting out in painting, they might give you a lot of good information. And the best thing I can say is, if you look out on my channel, you do a search, just as the keyword, once you're in the channel, FZ600 will bring them all up. And again, that paint job, the paintwork, the only one more complicated in this than I've ever done is my FZR. This was the number 2, and getting those stripes just right, and getting all of the stickers and flags and things that were on here, and we really put in a tremendous effort to make this bike restored to exactly the way Mark wanted it. I'm guessing everything's drying up pretty well here. Now, right after I have my next cup of coffee, I will take the back masking off of this, and pretty much it'll be ready for its clear. And we should have that, well, within the next hour, we should have everything sitting out here with the whole first coat drying up. This is really looking nice as we get the second coat on. Wow. Now with the second coat on there, and maybe, oh, here comes the sun again. You never know when the sun's coming out around here. Whoa, as he knocks the part off the table. That looks like it's going to dry up real nice. Real nice. Now, of course, we're going to have to pull the back masking off super carefully using a hairdryer. I don't want to make a mess out of this, and hopefully get a coat of clear on. It looks like we're going to get enough time here. Actually, the sun's been coming in and out, but we really would love to get that coat of clear on today. Before I paint this last piece, I wanted to make sure I pass on a tip. Since we do most of our painting in the winter, when it's cold, it's not cold today, it's about 60 degrees, but one thing you never, ever, ever, ever want to do is put masking tape on for painting, and then take that and put it in the garage to dry and below temperature freezing. That tape turns into such sticky glue, and it leaves a residue, and you have a tendency to pull paint up. Never let the tape that's on the bike stay longer than it has to, or get any colder than it has to. Warm never hurts you, it's only cold. It's like we are going to beat the weatherman today. Famous last word. You never beat the weatherman, he always wins. Now, one of the things I always emphasize to people that are new to painting, I don't have a paint booth. I don't have any expensive equipment. It's all Harbor Freight stuff. Very, very inexpensive. And if you are wanting to try painting for the first or second time, or you're new to it, many, many videos, including setting up the spray gunner on my channel. You need to get into the channel and then figure out what keyword you're going to use. There's a lot of modern paintwork tips on there. Modern paint is a little bit different than the old acrylic lacquer from 20 years ago or 30 years ago. But modern paint is relatively easy to use, and if you follow the one step by step of how I do it, I think you'll have pretty good results the first time you do it. And so many people have told me they like the information and the way I present it on a video. And I really hope in the end that it works for you too, of course. Now, there's also out on the channel, if you get into the playlist feature, you need to get into the playlist feature. One of them is painting motorcycles, and I've tried to put many of the videos, I do it on an ongoing basis, many of the videos that have what I think is useful paintwork information. And again, I hope that it serves a useful purpose for new painters, or even experienced painters that maybe like myself, they're working not in a body shop under super controlled conditions. You learn how to deal with the wind, with the heat, with the sun, with the cold, with the all of the things. But the channel is dedicated to that, to passing on really useful information. Now, I've had so many people, Scott out west, who is restoring bike after bike after bike, teaching kids. He's a school teacher, teaching kids how to paint. And it's just uncanny. Stephen Walker in Australia, he was a little hesitant to start painting his motorcycle. He eventually painted it. It came out great. A lot of people would send me positive comments, and I certainly appreciate every one of them. Of course, there's always a few people that say the videos are too boring or too long or too short, but I try to include every step. That's the key. If we're doing something, I don't like to leave out one of the key steps. I like to pass on information whenever I can that's useful, especially to newer people. And the biggest thing of all is I've been painting motorcycles 70 of the 80 years I've been alive. I've been painting my whole life, and I've learned a lot of things the hard way. I don't know how many of them I've been able to pass on, but I know a lot of people have appreciated the effort I've put into this channel. I hope you will support the channel, and you'll take a second, of course, and hit the like button and tell me how much you love me. But anyway, besides that, there is even another thing. And I always think, if you're a little hesitant to try painting, if there's something you want in life and you don't have it, this is important. If there's something in life you want and you don't have it, what it really means is you don't want it bad enough. That's words of wisdom from my good friend Frank and Ray Straub. Now, if you're new to our channel, we have a very, very eclectic channel. One of the new features we have now is some of the videos are grouped into groups that you can access all the videos for one category in one mouse click. And it should be very convenient and very handy. Just check out the feature on the main screen playlist. And thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. We appreciate your support, and it makes this channel possible with all the things we do, the painting, the wheels, the polishing. And please take a second or two and hit the like button. And thanks everyone for watching.